Greetings petrolheads, my name is the Tom, you're on my gaming channel, and it's time for another episode of Automation, a car company tycoon game. A while ago I was requested to build a supercar that does the Nordschleife in less than 7 minutes, and I can't even remember who requested that. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do it now. So yeah, there we go. Of course I'm gonna make it a mid-engine car because it's easiest to make a sub-7-minute car when it's mid-engined. So we are gonna make this a little bit lower and extend the back for a nice rear end. That's what I'm always looking for in a lady as well, you know. And then we're gonna give it a carbon fiber chassis, longitudinal, because I think that makes it possible to fit larger engines. Double wishbone, carbon fiber, as you would expect. Now we're gonna go back and flare the wheel arches. Kind of wanna make it look a little bit sleeker on the front, so I'm gonna not flare the wheel arches that much, at the front at least. At the rear end, of course, we're gonna need really huge tires because we're gonna make a lot of power. So yeah, so what kind of shenanigans do we want to make in this car? We probably want to put 2 lips up front. I keep saying this on mid-engine cars because you really don't want 2 wings and a lip on the rear end, because that's gonna mess up your downforce balance, if you want to call it that. Like, you're gonna make much more downforce at the rear than you are on the front. You might even produce lift at the front, and you really don't want that if you're about to go fast. Okay, so there is that. Then we're gonna put down a grill. Oh, not this big. More like that. And like that. And the badge on top of it. And then for some headlights. Actually no, first I'm gonna add the vents here at the bottom. Let's see, these ones. And then like that. Let's move them like here. Good. Then we can put something else on top of these. For example, one of those. And I'm gonna try and stretch this in such a way that this corner meets this corner. And that is going to be the case, like, oh no, actually if you want to make it this way, yeah, wait, give me a second here. That looks good, doesn't it? Then in between here we can put a number plate, which is what I was planning to do. And then some of these lights. Like that. I love the kind of retro element of having lights like in the center-ish. Like these ones reminds me of old rally cars like the Audi S1 and so on. That's why I love this detail. What am I doing with the taillights here? I still need some headlights. Like, some of you guys keep asking me how I never run out of ideas when it comes to, you know, headlights and so on. Basically, I've always been the kind of guy who imagined, who was dreaming basically, also in real life, about a certain thing. Oh, what if it were like this? What if it were like that? And obviously, parents or teachers or anybody involved in my education was like, yeah, well, but it isn't like that. So just go figure. Yeah, okay, but what if it was? That's like saying, what if I had? What would you do if you had $1 million? I don't have $1 million. Yeah, but what if you did? And I figured out a way of making basically every single shape that you can imagine in this game. It is if you take these simple headlight fixtures and then put them together in a way that you make a specific shape, and then you can fill them out to make them look a little bit more realistic, or you can just leave them as they are. You can put some of these lights in, you can skip doing that. It's whatever you prefer. And yeah, like having basically infinite options when it comes to the outer shape of your headlights is awesome. It really leaves a lot of room for creativity, and there is that is what I love about this game. It doesn't have that many fixtures already included, but what it does have is the ability or the possibility to make a lot of stuff out of the fixtures that are in there. So that's what I love. Okay, so we're gonna put down one more of these to fill out that little gap at the top here. And now, what do you think? Yeah, I think we should trim this with some white indicators. It's just incomplete without them, I think. But unlike forum designer JHD, I don't really like the idea of using exclusively white indicators as headlights. I think they add a nice touch if you add them as a detail in your headlight arrangement. That's true, but using them as the only headlight fixtures, that's a little bit overkill, I think. I'm gonna try something different here. Put this down like so, and then put that down like so. Won't be visible, will it? Oh, okay. Anyway, think we're almost done with the front end, or basically we are done with the front end. But I would, yeah, I'm gonna leave it as is because it's a little bit cleaner than most other supercars, I think. Actually, no, something I will still do is add. Oh my god, why is this fixture so huge when you select it? It's a little bit overkill, just saying. The one thing I will still do is add this over the top of our vents. And adjust the angle accordingly. That's better, I think. Yeah, And since this is supposed to be a road car, well, it's gonna have basically nothing to do with road car when it comes to engine and tires and suspension and so on, but you know, it still needs to have indicators. Then put one down like this, and then a nice little touch you can do that is that you can also see on cars like the Noble M600 or other mid-engine supercars is if you put down some of these fixtures next to the rear window. My hands are a little bit shaky for some reason. But anyway, here we are. And there is that. Look at it. And yeah, what else do we want here? I want some of these on here as well. Basically like this. And then obviously I want some wings on here. We'll decide which wing we want later. First things first. I'm gonna do the bumper first, because I'm still not sure what kind of taillights I want to put on here. How does this look? Awesome, actually. That's exactly the sort of rear bumper that you want to have. However, I will still put something on top of that. For example, one of those. Yeah, one of those. And I'm gonna trim it a little bit more. Because I wouldn't be myself if I didn't. So I will. So there's one of those. And then that is not long enough yet. That might be. That looks better, I think. And now what else I'm gonna do is put on one of these right here. And then that leaves some space, that leaves room for me to decide, do I want the exhaust in here, do I want them in here, where do I put the, well, where I put the number plate should be fairly obvious right here. Where do I put the braking lights? I could also put them in here or something like that. We'll see. So there's the number plate. I could also put the braking lights next to the number plate, which is probably what I'm going to do. Like that. That gives it a nice little flow, doesn't it? Okay, and now we can put down some exhausts. right there. I think we should still do... We should still put at least something over here in this area, because it's a supercar. And I think what I'm... No, I'm not going to put another one of those big grills and stretch them over here. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna look through the vents and decide for one that I particularly like. Actually, yeah, like that. Yeah, I think that's gonna give it a nice little touch. I don't want... I hate that the red overlaps the black areas of that grill. So I'm gonna delete this. I might just as well stretch that grill out. But first I'm gonna have to stretch this thing out so I don't have to adjust that later. And gotta put this down like here. Good. Okay, good. Now we have that. And we can put down some more of these things outside of the exhausts, like that. And I think we should now get to the taillights. First I'm gonna put down a badge like right here, and one taillight designing technique that I have recently discovered is if you put down one of these and adjust the size of what you want to have later on. Okay, like this. Then you can cover parts of this taillight fixture with some of these fixtures right here. And then you can basically trim this this red taillight fixture just the way you would like, however you would like it to look. And that's awesome. And that's one more of the things I had in mind when I said I love how many possibilities of making your car look unique there are already in the game. Like, you can make so much stuff out of so little. That's awesome, I think. So what I'm trying to do here, let me make this a little bit smaller. So what I'm gonna go for is, well, you'll see, I can't, it's hard for me to explain that in words. But it's gonna take a little while, so, you know, get yourself some coffee or a snack, whatever. I'm gonna cover the rounded areas here, by the way, because I wanna have my lines dead straight. Oh, that was bad on my part. And these bars can also cover, you know, grills, vents, like grills like you see down here. Otherwise, these bars wouldn't be visible. Yeah, you can tailor basically whatever fixture you want to look like you want it to look with these fixtures. Okay, this covers a little bit too much. More like that. And the same thing over here. Right, now that we have a rectangle here, I'm gonna put down some more of these vertical ones, but pretty thin actually. And more here. That looks pretty good as is, but I would love to make it look a little bit different from what it is now. So yeah, that's why I said it's gonna take a little while, because this is, you know, nerdy stuff. This is if you watch this entire thing in its regular speed and watch all of it, I salute you, because I think it might not be for everyone, that level of detail, but you know, the finished product is gonna be worth it, so I'm gonna do it. So there is that. And we're gonna do the same thing. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing in all of these sections. That is not the correct angle. That might be. More like so. Good. And then we're gonna need 2 more of these in the top row and 3 more in the bottom row, and then we're gonna cover the areas that we don't want to see in the finished product with some more of these fixtures. So that's gonna take a little while as well. You gotta be really precise with that, as you can probably imagine, because otherwise, you know, if fixtures that you don't want to overlap into the red areas, if they do, then you're gonna have some weird spots in your finished arrangement, and it's gonna be tedious to remove these bars. Because there's so many of them in the whole arrangement that it's gonna be almost impossible to select the correct fixture that you want to adjust. Okay, so we're gonna cover this. Then we're gonna cover this section over here. Yeah, this is gonna take a little while. Should I just pause the recording and oh damn, and continue when I'm done? I think that might not be the worst idea in the world, but I'm not going to. Just so you guys can just for the few of you who actually enjoy this level of detail. No. You see, that's what I meant. No, not that one either. That's fine as well. Come on, please. Please. Okay. Whatever. How am I going to select this? Oh, thank you. No. 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 Yes. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, and I messed up a little bit with that one fixture that I tried to adjust. But if you like quick builds, I'm just saying you're probably on the wrong channel, because I want my cars to look unique, and that's gonna require some precision and some patience. And that is exactly the sort of traits that I luckily have been given, and I'm gonna use them to their effectiveness here. And if yeah, it's like who was it that said, if you don't like something, change it? That's a popular saying, isn't it? And that is exactly what I'm going for. Unfortunately, in my real life, I don't really have the opportunity to change most things I don't like. But here on YouTube, I'm basically free, and that is why I'm doing this. And I can upload whatever the heck I want, as long as I, as long as it meets the guidelines of what is allowed to be uploaded on YouTube. And yeah, I think that's not an issue for me. Unless you count car porn as, sexually offensive. Whatever. So there is one part of this whole thing done. And we're gonna be putting down some more fixtures, because I want this car to look unique. And I don't think there's so many people out there who have the same amount of patience as I do when it comes to designing a car. Just want something simple that looks good. But yeah, that's why, no offense, but that's why I think many of the cars designed on the forums look relatively the same. And yeah, I've always been one who doesn't like to be the same as all the others. I've always wanted to live my own life. That's also why I oftentimes have verbal fights with my parents, but I stay strong. I keep doing what I'm doing, and I know it's gonna work out for me at some point, because being your own boss, making basically your own business is what I'm doing here, is always gonna be a risk, and there's always gonna be people laughing at you. There's always gonna be people saying you can't do it, and most people, after a certain while, if they don't get the success they want, then they say, oh, I'm an idiot, you guys are actually right, I really can't do it. And that is exactly the wrong attitude to have, because as long as you're consistent in what you're doing and you're doing half decent at what you're doing, then you're always gonna be successful eventually. That's my philosophy. Maybe I'm just a little bit naive, maybe I'm optimistic, but I'm not gonna quit my YouTube account anytime soon, and because I want to be, I want to do this. I really want to become a big YouTuber now that I think about it, because this is what I love. I love having an audience. I love making these videos. I love playing games, and I love sharing my fun that I have in these games, like automation, GTA, and all the other stuff you can find on my channel. Like, I enjoy all of these games. That's why I'm sharing them with you, and I don't see a reason why I should quit my YouTube channel anytime soon. The only thing I will say is that I'm going to get myself a new internet relatively soon, hopefully in December or so, when my contract runs out, because this internet is kind of shitty. It promised to be a lot better than it actually is on paper, so yeah, if you don't like something, change it. Okay, so we're basically done with this taillight arrangement. Now I'm gonna add something else to this whole shebang, and it's gonna be one of these. I'm gonna put them down in such a way that these bars cover the on the upper side of the vent. But that it doesn't run into the taillight fixtures. That thing right here, and then we're gonna put down. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done with the design. All we're gonna do now is put down this right here. Just the badge placement, and put down a wing, and then recolor this whole vehicle. So we're gonna go for this wing, I think. Yeah, it looks pretty good, so let's stick with that. Okay, good. Now we're gonna recolor it like silver or so, or white. And that is going to be our exterior. The engine, look, I already have some really crazy engine builds. For example, this 6-liter naturally aspirated V8. I'm gonna show you around real quick. It's got obviously a long bore because we wanna rev it out a lot. Very expensive parts, 15 quality basically everywhere. The most expensive parts everywhere. 100 cam profile, 13.7:1 compression, naturally aspirated. 400 per cylinder, race intake, super unleaded fuel, race tubular exhausts, lots of pipe, and no second muffler, and plus 15 quality on everything. So that is going to be our engine for the car. It is safe to say that this is basically a race engine, but I do know from one other car that I have built that with this particular engine the car is capable of lapping the Nordschleife in less than 7 minutes. So there is that. We want an electric LSD. We want some quality on our drivetrain. We want semi-slicks. We want like 19-inch rims. And look like these basically. The most profile you can have. I think the best tire width for the front tires is like 275s. And make the rear tires as wide as possible. Most importantly, increase the quality on the tires, because that's gonna give you a lot more grip. We want magnesium rims. Carbon fiber is just a little bit overkill. 6-piston brakes. 400mm front should do it. 365's rear. Downforce under tray with just as much downforce as you can get. Reduce the cooling airflow. We do want some brake airflow though, because otherwise the brakes are gonna overheat and that's gonna hurt our lap time. Also, probably the second most important slider to keep up there in the trim section next to the tires is the aerodynamics, because the lower drag coefficient, while still remaining the same level of downforce, is huge. So we want standard interior, I think. You can go for no entertainment here. We want all drive rates, and because we have no entertainment, putting quality in here will only give us the benefits of having better driver assists, which makes the car go faster, but it won't make it heavier. So that's awesome. Let's put some points in here. Basic, safety, and I'm sorry, no quality. Semi-active and passive here. Then I'm gonna adjust the suspension in such a way that I think it makes it the fastest around the track. It will understeer this car, but if it makes it go faster, then why not make it? Go faster? 3 here, actually more like 5.6 here, then 300 here and 200 here, and then the right height is somewhere in the middle. Is the best. We do want some quality in the suspension, of course. 1116.1 kilograms, 88.1 sportiness, and let's see what it does. .04. So there we have it. That is a mid-engine supercar that does the Nordschleife in less than 7 minutes and looks awesome. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please click the like button, it helps out a great deal. Also consider subscribing if you want to see more content in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.